So today's lesson is on the surface area of cuboid and prisms. Now we've been dealing with most of the time we've been dealing with volume, which is the space inside the shape. Like if you think about let's think about an Amazon parcel coming. If you've got an Amazon parcel coming, the volume, let's make those little plastic parts that you have in there. The volume would be the amount of things or the little plastic things which are in your Amazon parcel. And your surface area would be the cardboard which is used to make the parcel. Okay, so the volume is what's inside, and the surface area is the outside of the 3D shape. So let's just write that down first of all then. So the surface area, let's write this down. The surface area is the outside of a 3D shape. The surface area is the outside of the 3D shape. To find the surface area, we need to find the area of each side. So I'm just going to draw a little cuboid here on this one. I'll show you what I mean. Because the best way to do this is, I'll do a little cuboid first of all, and we'll do a little highlight of it. So let's draw we'll draw a little square there, up and right, and a square again. And then we're going to connect all these up. Now I always like to use a highlighter of this one because the way we need to think about this is we're going to find out the area of the front here. So the area of this front part. Sorry. So yeah, the surface area is the area outside of a 3D shape. To find the surface area, we need to find the area of each side. So we've got the area of the front. We've also got the area of the top, which is here like so. And then you've got the area of the side. Now, when you've got a cuboid, the thing that you need to spot is which sides are the same. So we can say that the left and right green sides are the same. We can also say that the front and back yellow sides are the same. And we can also say that the top and bottom blue sides are the same. So the left and right green sides are the same. The front and back yellow sides are the same, and the top and bottom blue sides are the same. So get that down for me, and then we'll have a go at a question. So pop your hand up if you got that down. Pop your hand up if you got it down. Keep your hand up for me just so I can see that everybody's got it. Okay, I'm going to have to move on. Okay, so hands down for me then, please. Let's move on. So we're going to have a go at these two questions here. Now remember to draw this. This is going to be example 1. Now to draw this, I'd probably draw a bit of a wider. And then again, up and right. Like so, and then connect them up. It's all about that up and right, okay? And once you've done that, I think it's always worth highlighting the front, back and side, just so you know there we go. And you can even label them if you want, so like maybe the front would be 1, side would be 2, and here would be 3. Now there are 6 sides to a cuboid, the front and back, top and bottom, right and left side. Okay, front and back, side and side, up and down. So, we're going to work out what the front and back are first. So let's write down 1. I'm going to highlight it in yellow just so I know that it's the yellow front. Now, what is the area of that front? Well, the area of the front, we can see that it's 7 across here, and the height of it is equal to 4. Okay? So it's going to be the area of that front is equal to 7 times by 4, which is equal to 7, 14, 21, 28 centimeters squared. So now we need to work out the area of the right-hand side there, which is the blue side. Now the length and width of this one here is 5 and this one here is 4. So the area of that rectangle on the right is going to be equal to 5 times by 4, which is equal to 20. So this one here is a little bit tricky. This one here is 7 by 4. Okay, so this length here is 7 by this one here, which is, oh, they said 4 by 5, sorry. 7 by 5, that one is. Hard to see that top one, I think. So it's going to be 7 across by 5 back, which is equal to 35 centimeters square. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to add these together. So it's going to be 28. So we're going to add all of these areas together. which is going to be so it's going to be 28 plus 20 plus 35 is equal to, so all of these added together is equal to 83 centimeters squared. Like so. Now that's not the final answer because, like I said at the start, you know that the top and the bottom are the same. You know that the left and the right are the same. And you also know that your top and bottom are the same. Okay? So here, what I need to do is, because I've got two sides which are the same, two sides which are the same, two sides which are the same, you need to double this. So it's going to be 83 times by 2. So times by 2, which is equal to 166 centimeters squared for the surface area. Okay, so there's your first question. That was example 1. Have a go at that one on the right-hand side, and then write down the answer in the chat. So have a go at that one on the right. Good, for those who've got it. Yeah, good. Good. I'll start going and have a go at this one. You should be able to do this quite quickly now once you know how to do it. So we'll call it yellow, blue and green this time. Doesn't matter what we call it, as long as we show the examiner what we're doing. So we've got the yellow, which is the front, which is going to be 8 times by 3. 8 times by 3 is 24 centimeters squared. The blue side is equal to 5 by 3, so 5 times by 3, which is 15 centimeters squared. And the top, which is the green, is equal to, well, this is always the trickier one, isn't it? So this one here is 8 across by 5 back. So it's going to be 8 times by 5, which is equal to 40 centimeters squared. I need to add these together and then divide by the so times by 2. It's going to be 24. Whoops. 24 plus 15 plus 40 is equal to 79 centimeters squared. But don't forget, we need to know to include all the other sides. We need to times this by 2. So 79 times by 2. So times by 2 is equal to 158 centimeters squared. Brilliant. Super. So there's our first two. This is what we're going to have a little look at now. So this one here is where we step it up. Remember, we know how to draw these. We draw a triangle at the front, up and right, triangle at the back, and then connect them up. It's all about the up and right. So get that one down there as example 2. And the problem with this one here is that we've got 4 different sides. The only thing that we've got the same is the front and back triangle. It is tough, this one. So I'll highlight these just so we can see them, the ones that we can see. So let's do some of these now. Again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides on this. Okay, and we've got to work out the area of all of them individually, and then add them all together. Now we're not going to double this one, and the reason we're not going to double it is because the only thing that I can double on this one is the front and back for the triangle. So let's work out that triangle first. So the triangle area. Now, what do people always forget when they're dealing with triangles? What do people always forget to do? Yeah, that's it. Divide by 2. So it's going to be base times by height divided by 2. So it's going to be the base, which is 12, times by the perpendicular height, which is 16, all divided by 2. So let's do that. So my base, which was, so let's write down fraction button first, 12 times by 16, all divided by 2, is equal to 96 centimeters squared. So that's for the triangle. Now there are 2 triangles. I'm going to highlight a yellow just so you know it's the yellow triangle. The next one I'm going to do is the blue diagonal. Which is this blue one. Now that is a rectangle. So the blue diagonal, I think actually it's quite easy to see the blue diagonal. The depth of the rectangle is going to be 2 across by 20 back. So the rectangle here is going to be 2 times by 20, which is equal to 2 times by 20, which is equal to 40 centimeters squared. And then there's 2 sides that we can't, well, there's 3 sides that we can't see, and we haven't been able to highlight. One is that left side here, and one is the bottom. So if I think about the left side, well, I can't highlight this because there's nothing to highlight, but the left side is going to be 16 up by 2 back. Okay, 16 up by 2 back. So it's going to be 16 up by 2 back. The 16 times by 2, which is equal to 32 centimeters squared. And then we also have the bottom as well. Now the bottom is 12 across by 2 back. So this one here is 12 by 2. 12 times 2, which is equal to 24 centimeters squared. Now there is one more thing that we need to add on this, and that's the back triangle. And we know that the back triangle is the same as the front triangle, so that's equal to 96 centimeters squared. So we've got the front triangle, the back triangle, that blue highlighted side, the left side, and the bottom. And the last stage of this, to find out the total surface area, this is when it is tricky, is to add all of these together. So it's going to be 96 plus 40 plus 32 plus 24 plus 96, which is the front and back triangle. So we've got 5 sides in total, is equal to, so add all these together, 288 centimetres squared. Brilliant. It's hard, that. It is tough. So once you've got that down, have a go at the question on the right hand side. Alright, so let's have a go at this one on the right then. Alright, so let's go at this one on the right. So we've got the front, which I'll highlight. So the front triangle is equal to 5 times 12 divided by 2. So that front triangle there is equal to 5 times 12 divided by 2. Probably should have done it as a fraction, but that's fine. That's 30 centimetres squared. Then I've got the blue top part, which is this one here. So the blue, which is equal to 6 times by 13. So 6 times by 13, which is equal to 78 centimetres squared. Then you've got the bottom, which in this case is 12 across by 6 back. So 12 times by 6. So 12 times by 6, which is equal to 72 centimetres squared. And then you've got the left-hand side, which is 5 up and 6 back. So 5 times by 6, which is equal to 30 centimetres squared. And then don't forget you've got the back triangle, which is the same as the front triangle, which is 78 centimeters squared. Oops, I said 78, it's actually not 78. The front triangle is actually 30, sorry. So then I need to add all these together. So it's going to be 30 plus 78 plus 72 plus 30 plus another 30, which is equal to 240 centimeters squared. So hopefully you managed to have a go at that. Hopefully you could see that. Alright, let's have a go at example 3 then. Now this is where it gets a little bit trickier, okay? Example 3. This is where it gets a little bit trickier. So, I've put this one on the side on purpose because I want us to think about what this looks like. Now, can I get a piece of paper? So the net of a cylinder actually looks like this. I do want you to draw this out. That's what the net of a cylinder looks like. Okay, what are we doing there? Oh, I've done something again. Well, that's not a very good net, but you make sure yours are the same on both sides. So we've got 3 shapes in a cylinder here. We've got the circles, which are the back and front, and we know that the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, we know that. We also know that the other side is going to be pi r squared. But the thing which is people forget is how to do this part in the middle. Now we can clearly see from this that across here is 19 centimeters, which is this across bit here. Okay, the across part is 19 centimeters, but it's this part here which people struggle with. It's that top part there, up there. So I'm going to try and show you the way that we do this. If I've got a cylinder which looks like this, so there's my cylinder, and I open it out, so there if I open it out, this is the rectangle that's on that page there. Try and make that. So this here is the rectangle which is on the page, and here. Now the thing that you need to know is that, it's a terrible circle, this part here, this circle here, is that's the circumference of a circle, and that is this length here. This length here, let me go back to where I was. This length here is the circumference of the circle, and we know that the circumference is equal to pi times by d, or 2 pi r, whichever one you want. And if you know how to do that net, then this becomes quite easy. So I'm just going to put that on the side. We will need that. So we've got a circle on the left, and it's worth writing down always, as I did before, so my radius in this one is equal to 6 centimeters, which means my diameter is equal to 12 centimeters. So to work out the area of the circle, it's equal to pi times by 6 squared, which is going to be equal to 36 pi. Then I need the rectangle in the middle. Now the rectangle in the middle, I need to know what the circumference is for this one. So the rectangle, and I'm even going to draw this. The width of the rectangle is 19 centimeters, and this length here is the circumference. Now my circumference is equal to pi times d, and d in this case is that 12 centimeters. So this here is 12 times by, pi times by d, which is 12 pi centimeters. That's what this is here. So to find the area of the rectangle, so my circumference, I'm going to do circumference over here. Circumference will be equal to pi d. So my circumference is equal to pi times by 12, which is equal to 12 pi. So the rectangle is equal to the length times by my circumference, which is equal to 19 times by 12 pi. 19 times by 12 is equal to 228 pi. So then the last little part is I've got two circles and the rectangle, so I'm going to have to do 36 pi plus 36 pi plus the rectangle, which was 228 pi. So let's do that now. So 36 shift pi, 36 shift pi plus 36 pi plus 228 pi is equal to 300 pi centimeters squared. But they want it to one decimal place. So I'm going to press S to D, which gives me this. So to one decimal place, that's 942.5 centimeters squared. Okay, get that one down as example 3. And once you've done that, have a little go at that one on the right hand side. So have a go at that one on the right. When you've got the answer, pop the answer in the chat. You might want to, in your notes, when you're drawing this out, draw out that net. Net of this one's going to be on the side, actually, isn't it? So I'll probably do it like this. The net of this one is going to be, there's going to be a circle on the top, then a rectangle there, like so, and a circle on the bottom. And this is going to be 12, and this here is going to be equal to my circumference of this. So my radius is 7 centimeters. My diameter is 14 centimeters. I'm probably helping you too much here. Some people have got it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Those who have got it, really impressive. I'm going to start going through it now. So I'll do it here. I'll do it on the page. So my circumference of this one is going to be pi times by 14. So pi d, which is equal to 14 pi. The area of the circle at the top, so the area of this one is equal to pi r squared, which is equal to pi times by 7 squared, which is equal to 49 pi. So that's the area of the circle. I might even highlight that just so you know it. Then the area of the rectangle in the middle is equal to the width, which is 12, times pi, the length, which is 14 pi, which is the circumference. So 12 times by 14 which is equal to 168 pi. Not forgetting the bottom, which we already know, because the bottom is the same as the top, 49 pi. So then we need to add those all together. So that's equal to 49 pi plus 168 pi plus 49 pi, which is equal to 800. Now they've given it an STD. I'll do it non-calculator as well. So if it was non-calculator, the surface area would be equal to 266 pi centimeters squared. But they want it to one decimal place, so change S to D. That 6 means I'm going to round up, so it's 835.7 centimeters squared. Brilliant. Super. Well done to all of you who've got it right. Make sure you got your rounding right there. Okay. Two more questions to have a go at, and then we'll move on. So this one here, this is a typical question. This one came up in 2003. It says the diagram represents a large tank in the shape of a cuboid, which we know that's fine. It doesn't have a top. Now that's important because it means I don't need that area of the top. Width of the tank is 2.8. The length of the tank is 3.2. Height is 2.5, and we need to paint all of it. Paint the outside, and 1 litre will cover 2.5 of the tank. The cost of the paint is $2.99 per litre. Calculate the cost of the paint needed to paint outside. So what we need to do here is we need to find the front, yellow there, and times by 2. We need to do the side and times by 2, but we also need the bottom, okay? However, we're not timesing that one by 2 because there's no top on this. So the front is going to be equal to 3.2 times by 4.5. 3.2 times 4.5 is equal to 14.4 meters squared. The right side is equal to 2.8 times by 4.5. So 2.8 times 4.5 is equal to 12.6 meters squared. Now we also need the bottom as well. And the bottom is going to be 3.2 times by 2.8. 3.2 times 2.8, which is equal to 8.96 meters squared. But we've got the right hand side. We also need the left hand side, which we know is the same as the right, which is 12.6. And we also need the back. We've got the front, we need the back, which is equal to the same as the front, which is 14.4 meters squared. So we've got all of those. Now, don't forget, I haven't included the top because it's got an open top, and that's where this question gets a little bit tricky. You can't just times by 2. So I'm going to add all of these ones here together. So that's going to be 14. I'll do it on here actually. Just make sure it's right. So it's going to be 14.4 plus 12.6 plus 8.96 plus 12.6 plus 14.4, which gives me a total surface area equal to 62.96 meters squared. Brilliant. So we now know that the tank, 1 litre will cover 2.5 meters. So I need to find out how many litres I'm going to need. So my amount of litres is going to be the 62.96 divided by 2.5. So I need to divide this. My answer, hey. My answer divided by 2.5, which gives me 25.184 litres. Now you've got to be careful here because you can't go into a shop and say, "Excuse me, sir, can I have 25.184 litres of paint, please?" No, you can't. You've got to go in there and you've got to ask the amounts as a whole. So it's going to be 26 litres of paint times by the price, which is the £2.99. So 26 times £2.99 is equal to £77. 74p. Brilliant. Well done to anybody who had a go at that and got it right. Very impressive. Give you a second to get that down if you need to. Okay, we're going to finish up there. We'll continue with this tomorrow or next lesson.